This is Born Strategist, and welcome to my first episode of Weapon Workshop. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at a kinetic weapon in the form of the Antiope-D. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this one particular weapon, first and foremost, is because, well, one, it took me forever to grind to get the fucking thing, and two, it's a very effective weapon. Dare I say, one of the best SMGs in the game, and probably the one SMG that has the best range of any other. And for that very reason, it's a very competitive option in the Crucible, and a very worthy option in PvE. In fact, when I equipped this weapon, I had a tendency to ignore both my energy weapon and power weapon on more than one occasion, just because the weapon was so good and so effective, and because I like running into close quarter situations. So if you're playing in the Crucible, rest assured this will be a great complement to a scout rifle. Now, this SMG, although having one of the best ranges in class, doesn't necessarily have the top RPM. And that's not a bad thing, because the 600 rounds per minute definitely helps this weapon when it comes to its accuracy. Because if it had a faster fire rate, let's be honest, it'd probably be all over the place. But the fire rate, the magazine capacity, and stability and its range are all optimal for this particular gun. So if you're going to be utilizing this weapon, I'm going to make a couple of suggestions here, which is 1, the SC hollow sight, and 2, ricochet rounds. Now the reason for that is simple. It's because it maximizes your range and increases your stability. Now you'll have to sacrifice 2 additional rounds in your magazine, because if you were to go with tactical mag, then it'll go from 26 to 28. But I think losing the 2 rounds isn't necessarily that big of a deal, especially if you're in the Crucible, because having the best possible range and having the best possible stability is something that's really going to help this weapon and push it beyond its close range limitations. Now, having said that, once again, this is a very competitive weapon in the Crucible. Now, it's not the fastest firing SMG, so you'll probably lose out in a lot of gun battles when you're going up against like Foggy Notion or something such as that. But it's a very competitive weapon as long as you know when to use it. So be very mindful of what your effective range actually is, because a lot of times people have a tendency to use weapons and the most inefficient ranges. I mean, if you're trying to use a scout rifle at close range or a pulse rifle at extremely long ranges, then you're probably not going to have the best possible outcome. So try to use your weapons, especially something such as this, within its optimal range. Because trying to shoot this thing from a long distance is just going to give away your position, and you're more likely to get killed by a multi-tool or some sort of long-range weapon. Now, in PvE, it's an excellent personal defense weapon. I mean, you can take out adds pretty quickly and in numerous numbers. And it's very effective against large numbers of thralls or dregs or even some of your acolytes or vandals. It makes very short work of them. And as long as you can pump a couple of mags into them, you can probably drop a high-ranking major relatively quickly, as long as you're consistently landing headshots. Long story short, this is an excellent weapon, and if you haven't already got it, do what you can and try to get it from the gunsmith, because he's the only person that I managed to get this gun from. And considering that I only had 1 copy, trust me when I say that it was a pain in the ass to get. With that said, thanks for watching. And for more objective reviews, strategy guides, commentaries, and more, stay tuned to this channel.